Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at some crypto adoption. Now, I do have to say, it is kind of feeling like it's going against the trend here because the trend is downwards, the trend is negative, but actually we're seeing real decent pockets of adoption within the crypto space. And I'm really bullish about some of the stuff that I've seen in the media over the last few days. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. And don't forget to jump in the Discord, link is in the description. It's absolutely free to join. No reason not to. There's over 4,500 people talking about crypto 24/7, supporting one another, navigate the space safely. Right. Let's get down to the desktop. Okay, so we're going to start on coin market cap. Now, the total market cap of all crypto is still beneath the $1 trillion at 970.34 billion, but it is up 2.76% at the time of recording in the last 24 hours. Now, Bitcoin is hovering just above 20,000 at 20,026.13, up 2.16% in the last 24 hours, but still down 6.73% in the last 7 days. So Ethereum down at 1,463.86, up 2.15%, but down 15.75 after the merge. Now, we did say that basically nothing was going to change on the face of it for Ethereum. Obviously, fantastic upgrade, saving lots of energy, with the move from proof of work to proof of stake. But on the face of it, the fees are still high. The scaling issues are still there, as many others. It's a long-term fix of multiple upgrades required for Ethereum. So just to be, aware of that. But let's get into some of these headlines, right? So the first headline that I want to talk about is US Treasury publishes a laundry list of crypto risks for consumers, national security. So this is a bit that I covered off the other day. Just, basically what I would take from this, the short of it is that Bitcoin has got some serious problems, particularly with the merge and the amount of energy. I think it's like 0.2% of all global energy reduced because of the Ethereum merge. Can you imagine what Bitcoin's energy consumption is and how much that could reduce that by further? Particularly with everything that's going on with like energy, the energy crisis, the energy cost increasing immensely. There's an awful lot of pressure being placed on Bitcoin to maybe do something very similar to Ethereum. So it's going to be interesting to see whether that happens and whether there's any regulatory issues pushed towards Bitcoin. Look, I personally think that Bitcoin should make that move. I think it's the right thing to do. The other things to talk about as well is just the fact that actually, like, we're not to expect anything different. We're still going to have enforcement action from the likes of the SEC and all that sort of stuff. And, that's all come from the White House, right? So, we've got to be aware of these things. We've got to be monitoring them, keeping an eye on what to expect, right? Because this can go one of two ways. It could be really bullish for the space and we get lots of institutional investors come in, or it could be really, really bad and, long-term crypto winter, right? Which goes on for multiple years, which we don't want, right? So let's keep an eye on it. Let's make sure that, it's being done in the right way as well. Moving on, we've got Binance attempting to buy Voyager Digital's assets. So this is, again, something interesting to cover off. I think FTX have firmly been in the driving seat for a lot of this stuff when it comes to Voyager. But it's interesting to see Binance doing their thing, right? Big company, lots of power in the space, right? So I quite like Binance. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on this in the comments below, and I will link these articles in the Discord for you to read through at your leisure. Moving on, and we've got crypto is not part of HSBC's future, and this is basically the CEO of HSBC bank telling us that basically they're not planning to utilize any cryptocurrency whatsoever. This kind of, for me, sat here, kind of reminds me a little bit of Blockbusters and the fact that they didn't really want to go onto streaming and stuff like that. And then we saw the likes of Netflix come in and just absolutely blow that business out of the water, right? And obviously they went bankrupt, right? And Blockbusters is no more. This, for me, HSBC could potentially be the blockbuster bank, in my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on all of this. Shocking stuff. But the stuff that I really want to get into, the real juicy stuff, and that is the fact that we're seeing big companies, online companies starting to partner with the likes of BitPay and Coin Payments to deliver crypto payment solutions. This is something that's becoming more and more, I guess, of a trend, right? And it's a trend that is really positive for this space because it demonstrates adoption of cryptocurrency. We recently saw Starbucks, partnering with Polygon for their loyalty scheme for customers and turning them into NFTs and all this sort of wonderful stuff. There's real adoption happening in this bear phase, right? And if you can just imagine that you get positive regulations rather than this enforcement BS that just harms retail investors, can you imagine, there's going to be so many companies ready to rock and roll when it comes to cryptocurrency payments and adoption. For me, this is just really bullish stuff. So yeah, interested to get your views and opinions on it. Let me know in the comments below. Ultimately, I want to keep this video really, really short. I think that there's so much adoption happening. There's lots of real positive stuff happening for cryptocurrency and blockchain technology right now. Although we're in this bear phase or bear market, however we want to articulate it, I think we've got to focus a lot on the positives, and we've got to be looking at the wider landscape outside of actually, what is the price? Because there's lots of times throughout history where businesses, and I treat businesses in the same way as I do crypto altcoins or projects, because all the metrics internally for the likes of Amazon, at the deepest points of crashes in history, within the stock market, all the metrics internally were up and they were doing really well. And I think this is the same that we can see with cryptocurrency. We can see all this real world adoption, but we're seeing the prices come down because of the financial landscape, the wars, the property crisis, the heat waves that are shutting down warehouses, supply chain issues, the viruses, all this stuff is overshadowing all this wonderful stuff that is happening in the space. So I want to kind of convey that to our audience today, to say, look, there's all this wonderful stuff happening. These prices are just part of a wider array of events that are happening right now, and I do expect the markets to bounce back. But just be careful that you invest in projects that have got solid teams, solid use case, like a use case that needs to be utilized. They're well funded, and the team are sticking to the deadlines that they're setting in their roadmaps. And if they don't have dates, as an investor, you should be demanding, better roadmaps. Just my opinion, not financial advice. Treat this as educational purposes only. Go do your own research, make your own investment decisions. But I hope this video was useful. If it was, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.